Hello, my gorgeous makeup loving friends. How's it going? That's right. It's time for another releases and rants. This is where we take the new makeup releases that you guys want to talk about and just filter it down to the interesting and sometimes questionable things. You know the drill. I have the gorgeous Tia with me, showing me up as per usual. It's tradition at this
It's my
point.
job here.
Literally, she brings the glamour, I bring the inspiration. It's totally fine. I wanted to start off by saying a massive thank you to my YouTube channel members who hung out with me last weekend on a live where we did a little tour of my makeup room and did a not so small haul. Thanks, guys.
It was like massive.
It was a bit, and there's been more stuff that's arrived since. Anyways, a massive thank you to you guys. I hugely appreciated it. And we'll have another live next month and hang out and chat. But you know the drill, lads. There will be no releases and rants without you guys who tag me in this content. So I want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who has tagged me. This wouldn't occur without you. But let's get into the first thing that we want to talk about. And this is Give Me Glow Cosmetics. And it's their Butterfly Vibes palette. And it's vegan and cruelty free. And it's already available right now for €50.95. I had a few people very correctly point out that the packaging reminds them of Makeup Revolution. You know, when they did their like I Heart chocolate bar sort of thing. Because there's
Yeah.
colours of this that reminds me a little bit of their Turkish Delight kind of palette that they had. But obviously with a Give Me Glow Cosmetics formula, it's going to be a lot better. They very correctly decided to release this on the same day as the Juicy Blueberry, which I think was really smart. If they had done it one day and then another day, people would have just been like really annoyed of like, oh, I could have gotten the two together. How very dare you. Full disclosure, lads. I mean, you know what I'm going to say. I bought it because I'm an idiot. I love this colour story. I think it's really cool. I do get what people are saying though about the packaging being very revolution-esque, but I think because they're meshing now, we're trying to figure out about using smaller pan sizes and going towards square pans. There's going to be a bit of chopping and changing and them trying to figure out
Yeah.
exactly where they want to go with that packaging. So I feel like this is probably like the first generation, like back when we used to have iPods, you know, first
Yeah.
generation. I like it. I like the color story, and I do.
Kind of reminds me of the mix of like, was it Cosmic Brushes, the new one, and then the Muse.
Yes,
Like
very
mix
much
of
so.
those two.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I can totally see that. Like, if you have the Cosmic Brushes, those two palettes, you probably don't need this. That's right. That's me. That's directed at me because I have those two Cosmic Brushes palettes, and I still went,
You
no,
still bought it.
no, no.
Still bought it.
I was like, I like Give Me Glow, and I haven't bought a Give Me Glow palette in like 2 or 3 years. Now's the time. And I picked up like the Vivid Rose palette as well because it's a pinky toned one. And I was like, oh, that's very pretty. But I do really like this, and I like the way that they've grouped it in the swatches. It kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like only having the one dark shade, like one dark matte, is a bit like, oh, probably needed one more, and maybe like
Oh yeah, because I was like looking at the swatches first. Then I was like, oh, there's three dark shades. And then I was like, why do they all look the same? They
yeah.
look the same, Tia, because it's the same
Yeah.
shadow.
What I like about them grouping the swatches like that is they're kind of showing you, because it is a
Yeah.
detailed kind of color
So it
story.
kind of works more.
Yeah, they're showing you which shades go together. And I think that's actually super, super helpful if you kind of struggle with that sort of thing. Again, I think maybe one more dark shade and an extra like kind of pastel-y shade in there would have been like really, really nice. I do think it's beautiful though.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's just it's the layout for
Yeah.
me that like when I see the swatches I'm like, "Oh, it looks actually kind of pretty." But
Yeah.
when I look at the palette itself, I'm like, "What is going on?"
Agree completely. Totally agree. Because it wasn't until I saw the swatches that I was like, oh, I'm here for this. Because when I saw the jumbled mishmash of the palette, I was like, oh God, I'm very stressed out. What do I do with this? And then
Yeah.
after seeing them all grouped together, I was like, oh, I get this now. This makes sense to me. So I
They
actually,
should have like grouped it more like I
yeah,
feel like in the layout, but that's just the way I like things. Some people like these like more like scattered, like mumbled
mm,
layouts. Makes them feel more inspired. But to me, I'm just like, what is happening? What is this? And then I can't really see how beautiful the palette is if I just look at the palette. But when you look at the swatches, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I agree. I'm similar to Tia. I like everything kind of ordered and sectioned in a particular way. So that's why I did appreciate that. Even though the palette was very, very jumbled when you look at it, I liked that they released those swatches that were
Yeah.
sectioned in that way because it helped me then kind of go, ah, you're an idiot.
Sisters can sell palettes. Like,
Literally, they
they
do.
can really honestly just like make it or break it.
Yeah. I mean, so many times we've said that, but this was one of those cases that look at this particular case study. Yeah, like I got it based upon the swatches. And I will say, I
Yeah.
really like Give Me Glow Cosmetics formula. So I am looking forward to this. I will say that when I showed this to you guys, I think you were of a similar mind of it's quite jumbled because only 30% of you actually loved it. Then we have SHEGLAM giving us questionable makeup. And I don't care what anyone says. There may be some SHEGLAM lovers out there who are like, no, they can do no wrong. No, no, my love. Exhibit A. Because this is really weird to me. This is their Vinyl Pop eyeshadow palette. So there's 3 of them in all. There's Color Me Crazy, which is $7.99, the Sun-Kissed Reverie for $7.49, and the Rose Sonata for $7.49. And I love that the colourful one is inexplicably 50 cents more expensive. Don't understand why.
Why?
No, look, we're going to talk about the Color Me Crazy first because I just, there's so many things I want to say about it. Why is there like a red cream in there that looks like it's possibly a lipstick shade?
Ah,
Why is there like this
yes.
primer thing that they put down in the circular thing? That's what they said that's for.
These look so ugly. I'm sorry, but they look so ugly.
I'm so stressed.
They all have like one cream shadow in them, I think.
Oh, and the stress, by the way, of
The
mixing a
powder.
powder.
Yeah, I just even if like the color stories was like and the shadows looked amazing, it's just how this looks. It would be a no to me.
I'm so stressed.
I don't understand.
They don't either. That's the
Why
thing.
do we need a primer? Primer in the shimmer shade to add a radiant to it. What?
Yeah. So they
Like,
basically
I'm
said,
so confused.
yeah, like they basically said, hey, we have this primer infused formula that can be used with a shimmer shade to add a radiant, dewy finish. And it's like, to
But
have
that's
that
gonna
as a,
freeze on my eyes.
I cannot. But you're having a primer. Basically, what you're saying is you have a primer in your palette, which is like creamy, and then there's another creamy shade, and you haven't thought to like separate them properly. You have all of these metallic shadows and then powdery shadows, which and I've tried SHEGLAM. I quite like SHEGLAM, but one of the things I will say is a lot of their palettes have insane kick up. They do, right? So the powder is going to go straight into the cream. I cannot cope with it. And I will say the swatches are such a letdown. Like they're so like,
I'm just like, I can't get over that radiant dewy finish. That's gonna crease on your eyes.
of course it will. Of course it will.
If it doesn't dry down, it's gonna like radiant dewy finish means it doesn't dry down. So it's gonna crease on your eyes and like I know that they're gone for like that 90s, 80s, like oh your CD player thing, but like that looks so ugly and like it's so unpractical. I'm just like why?
I cannot
Why did this
verbalize.
need to happen?
I cannot verbalize. Like, okay, if you want to do the outside, have the packaging of be a vinyl, grand.
Yeah,
Fair enough. I get it. But why did you have to do that absolute dumpster fire of whatever the fuck it is
yeah.
inside of that?
Different size pans,
Oh god.
not all lined up like that. That's just if it was like laid out like there was all like square pans, I
Oh.
would be more declined to be like, okay, this isn't so bad. But I just can't get over that. Like, yeah.
It is absolutely tragic. And then they decided, hey, it's not enough for us to just do it with this colorful one. We'll do it with like this more warm toned neutrals as well, which I feel like I've seen this color story a million times before across many, many different brands.
Like the Huda empowered.
Yeah.
Like the color story wise, a bit of like these two more neutral ones are like Huda kind of like color stories.
Yeah, but even I know I've definitely seen this color story from like say the likes of Tarte or Too Faced
Yeah.
in their little mini palettes.
Definitely.
And there's nothing like, it's very wearable. It's fine. It's like I don't look at it and kind of go, "Oh, the color story is absolute trash." I actually think that if you asked me out of all of the palettes, I think the Color Me Crazy, the colorful one, is the absolute worst. No color story, doesn't make sense. But the two neutral ones, well, they're cheaper anyway by 50 cents. Still don't understand why that's the case. But they are way more cohesive in terms of their color
Yeah.
story. But again, have that weird fucking primer and a random cream shadow in there.
Is that like the biggest like round pan is the primer, and
Yeah.
then on the center it has like a shimmer shade?
Yeah.
That's gonna like flake into the primer.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna be all like
Gross.
gunk and gross and like.
But do you know what? That is peak 90s. Because think about, the makeup that you were given as a child. You would just end up having gunky stuff in it because, you got
Yeah.
your makeup from like a magazine. And this is
This is
what this is.
this is what the makeup in magazines looked like in the.
It really does. Like,
So
it's bringing me back to my childhood, but not in a good way. Like,
yeah,
not in a good way.
definitely.
Yeah. And then again, like you said, that like rose colored one, that is a peak Huda. Like if
Yeah,
you showed me those swatches, I'd say, oh, are Huda doing like a little mini palette? Like what's going on? It's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with the actual color stories on the two of those. If anything, I think
yeah,
they're not bad at all. And if they were just laid out in a normal palette in any other way without all of those weird fucking strange shapes, weird primers, mixtures of creams and whatever without having like a plastic covering to protect it, then I'd be like, yeah,
I
actually,
wouldn't hate it
not bad.
so much.
But like this fills me with unbridled rage.
Yeah,
I
it gives me anxiety to even think about using those.
I genuinely like, and I like SHEGLAM. I think they're really good quality, but like this is
They have
no.
so many good products, but I feel like their eyeshadows. Like I feel like the last exciting eyeshadow launch was the horoscope ones.
Yeah.
And after that it's just they do these like really gimmicky things. Stings. I was gonna say stuff and then I said things and then it
Stings.
was things.
But that's the feeling it gives me, a sting to the
Yeah,
soul.
it
Oh,
stings me so bad.
like,
I'm over it.
yeah, no.
Like I can't look at it any longer.
Same. Color stories in the
Heavy.
last two are fine. The colorful one is just circus garbage, and just the whole thing is dreadful. And I don't care that it's cheap. I think it just shouldn't have been made at all.
Yeah.
Now, when I put it to you guys, and by the way, lads, I got a message from Buttons who was like, I missed the funny options. And I was like, okay. So if you see some sassy options now in your polls, that's down to Buttons. That's not me. That's Buttons, right? So when I put the colourful one to you guys, 7% said that you loved it, and 34% very rightly said, what is this? When I showed you the kind of more warm toned neutral, 5% loved it, 37% said, what is that shade in the left-hand corner? And then the final one, 4% of you loved it, and 47% said, for real though, what is that circular shade? And then SHEGLAM are giving us more kiddish makeup, because let's be real, this is kiddish. This is their mega lip stacks, and they come in 3 different stacks. There's brown tones, which are served in the brownie stack. There's nude ones, which are in the bear stack, and pinky red toned ones, which are in the petal stack. And they're all $4.99 each, and they all give a matte finish. And if you're looking at that kind of going, that reminds me of my childhood. Yeah, do you remember when you got the little, maybe it was just me, there was like a local shop that was near us, and you could get these like little stacked terrible lipsticks for children that you'd press them into each other, and that's what it's made. And you also had like the crayons that you could stack like this. This is what this is giving me. And it's 90s again, it's kid makeup again. I'm trying to figure out who are they marketing their stuff towards.
You know what? I would actually probably get that nude bear stack at some point. The shades look really pretty. Like I don't hate that, but I don't really. That packaging is like.
Oh, the packaging's trash. I hate the packaging.
I
Absolutely.
mean, we've seen like I think Barry M has this, and like some Amazon brands have this kind of thing already. I mean, it's all right. I like the nude bear stack shades, like those two, like really pale. There's like one really pale, then like a pinky pale color, and then we have like a more like a brownie nude and like a reddish brown nude.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I actually like those shades.
I agree. I think the shades themselves that they've chosen, lovely. Actually, very, very nice. Why the fuck did they not come out with these as like little mini lipsticks?
Yeah, or just as a regular lipsticks and sell them in sets.
But they could have done that so easily. And I even think just coming out with like little mini lipsticks that you could have, teeny tiny little ones, that would be adorable. Because none of us use a full bullet. So if you came out with like little mini lipsticks, that would be really, really gorgeous. Because I mean, I agree, the shades really beautiful. Like even in the brownie stack, that's lovely looking. They do. They look absolutely so pretty.
Yeah.
The petal stack, I actually think is really, really pretty. Very, very springtime. I think it's very, very pretty. What is driving me nuts is thinking about, for most of us who would wear a bullet lipstick, let's be 100% real. If you're going out with a bullet lipstick, it doesn't stay on during the day. So you have to put it into your handbag, purse, insert whatever mode of transportation that you're using. How are you going to carry that around without at least one of them popping out and then having lipstick all over?
I think they have screw lids on it, so
better.
maybe they won't just pop out then.
I just can't. I can't.
It looks like they have like screw lids, like the ones that you screw on.
Well, all I can say is somebody is missing a screw in SHEGLAM at the moment with the way that they are doing their packaging, because it is stressing me out.
I mean, I guess this could be like fun. Teresa, don't be so judgmental.
I'm after like dropping a lot of money on like my house repairs, so I'm just like feeling
No.
salty. Like no, like I love nostalgia, I do, but this is like weird nostalgia, and I think it could have been executed so much better, so much better. The shades.
I mean, yeah, I would have preferred like lip kits where you have like 4 different, like even mini lipsticks. Like that would have been nicer. But like I might pick up the nude bear stack at some point. Depending on how this formula is. Because I haven't tried any of their like bullet lipsticks.
I've heard good stuff about their like lipsticks, so like I'm not against it, but just
Not against the product, it's just against the packaging.
It's the packaging that's what's getting me. That is literally what's getting me, because it's like I'm looking at it and like, yeah, I guess they can clip in, but like there's nothing to really stop them from like breaking apart in your handbag.
Yeah.
Maybe I just fling my handbag around way more than other people. Woo! Just beating people with my handbag when I'm in Tesco, kind of go, no, I'm getting the last bag of hunky dories. How dare you? Yeah, I wish this was like little mini bullet lipsticks. I think that would have been so cute. And like SHEGLAM are always been given out to in terms of like their lack of sustainability. So if they'd done like a mini product of a bullet lipstick, I think that would have done really, really well. But this, I mean, you can't even choose which. I just can't. My brain won't let me process.
Teresa, they say here that the bullet size is easy to carry and even have like a handbag there.
You can't believe everything you read on the internet, lads. That's all I'm saying.
Change of your look in flash. You can be like, choo-choo! No, look.
No, just no. Like I like SHEGLAM, I do. I have quite a few products, but this
isn't for Teresa.
No, it's not. And do you know what? Just as well, because I've bought way too much stuff recently. Tia can verify. I don't have any stats on this yet because this just came to my attention in the last couple of hours. So I will put it up to you guys. And I did have some sassy comments such as, can we actually store this in our handbags? It's not just Glamlight that does really odd food collabs. It seems now Too Faced are getting on board. And who had this on their bingo card for 2023? That Pop-Tarts were going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do a makeup collab, because it certainly was not me. It does feel a bit to me like Too Faced have gone into their back catalogue of previous palettes and just kind of searched through their like previous things and kind of gone, oh, we'll take some of these existing shades that we've done in previous palettes and just smash them all together. Like none of these are new. Yeah, none of these are new to them. Like, oh look, a pink toned palette from Too Faced.
How revolutionary!
How
I'm surprised. I've never seen like anything like this before.
Oh no! And even like a brown, like a warm toned brown. They've done this so many times. Like I can't even, like even just their gingerbread thing that they did 2 or 3 years ago for Christmas. That's exactly the same. It is. Now they're selling this at the moment for $27, which personally I feel like that's way too much for what this is. And in true, I mean, look, every time we talk about Too Faced, I just like die a little bit inside because they're like, we've made this scented. And honestly, sometimes the scents make no sense, but at least on this occasion, it kind of makes sense because they're scented to correspond with the Pop-Tart that's there. So the frosted strawberry one smells like, you guessed it, the frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts. Brown sugar cinnamon palette smells like brown sugar cinnamon, which is only going to confuse our partners, because I had lipstick arrive today and the first thing that Sahil did was, you guessed it, opened it and sniffed it.
I mean, the only question I have, will this come with free Pop-Tarts?
Oh, they should. The only thing that this left me wanting was actual Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a Pop-Tart.
Oh, I love Pop-Tarts.
I don't think we have that. Like, we have some on the like American section, but they're really expensive.
Yeah, okay. Next time you're in Ireland, I will get you Pop-Tarts.
We'll get Pop-Tarts, and then we can just be like, we don't need this.
No.
Like we would need anyway. Like, these just look depressing to me.
They
I'm
really
sorry.
do. And when you look at the swatches, they're the most one-dimensional blah. And I'm not
They
even.
look like computer generated swatches.
Thank you. Like, if you're gonna do this, do proper swatches, because this is not selling it. I am so bored. I am so uninterested. Yes, I have died a little bit inside.
Yeah. Just like, next.
Oh, seriously. Like, this is so bland. I like what? I guess the only decent thing you can say about it is it'll smell nice. That's it. Yeah, I don't care. And when I put it to you guys, very similar opinions. The brown sugar cinnamon actually did much better. 12% of you loved it. 39% said, seriously, is this new? When I showed you the frosted strawberry mini palette, 8% of you loved it and 38% said, is this really new? Which, honestly, we're all kind of getting so sick of the recycled shit from Too Faced. It's the audacity of kind of going, no, this is definitely new. This is definitely new, guys. Here. No, you've changed the outside packaging. That's it. We're not stupid. Like, shut up. No. Anyways, this next one is Natasha Denona, and I swear to God, they just have the worst run of luck with whatever their retail outlets are.
I feel like that at this point, it's like a marketing tactic for them.
Yeah.
Oh, we accidentally leaked this. Like, honestly, because it's with every single launch that they do.
Yeah.
It can't be a coincidence at this point anymore.
Literally, though, the Yucca palette was released in advance on flannels. Then the Love Face thing, it was like a pinky toned one, that was released on Look Fantastic as well, briefly. And now this has been on Look Fantastic Germany. This is the mini Starlette, which is meant to go in tandem with the larger star palette. The thing is, I went and I looked on Look Fantastic Germany. It's gone now. You can't find it. They're like, what's Natasha Denona? Oh no, we had no such thing there. No, you must have imagined things. It was a fever dream. So it was only up there for a couple of hours, really. And enough time for people to grab pictures and obviously buy it. And, you know, those YouTubers who are like, yeah, I'm going to be the first to make a video on this. They're on it, which, you know, well done for them.
Who would want to make a video of this? What in the ashy hell is this?
It is very ashy. It is. This is
It's
just
so ugly and boring.
It's just
Like,
for the Caucasian.
who's gonna be able to do any looks with this? I'm sorry, but even for me, this is like too pale.
There's no depth. None. And I know that they're saying
No depth.
I know that they're saying that as part of this, you're getting 3 mattes. There's a luminous shimmer, and then they have like this really specific chroma crystal shadow, which I think is good that they're kind of including that, like a slightly different formula. That in itself is interesting, but the lack of depth is crazy to me. Now, I did have somebody comment on my TikTok saying it almost looks like they're trying to get into the K-beauty market. This is a very K-beauty style eyeshadow palette. I can see that. But, and I said this in a previous video, I feel they missed so much on this. The lack of depth, the fact that this is only going to, like, you see the swatches. You see the swatches and how bad it looks.
Like ash.
Ash. Who is that going to be complementary towards? They
like, look at all the darkest skin tone. All the shades look almost the same. Like the matte stage.
Yeah. But what they should have done is have a light, a medium, and a deep.
Yeah.
Like, Natasha has the resources to do that. We've seen that with smaller indie brands like Sydney Grace.
Yeah, you could have a really nice like palette or just like a mini palette to like do a look, like a quick look with it.
Yeah.
But with that, like, no. I'm sorry, but it's a big no for me.
I think particularly if you're talking about a 5-pan palette, every shade needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just like, what you're gonna use this for?
I need a deep shade in there because I don't know what to do with that. I like each individual shade. Like, I think it looked pretty, right? But all together in this one thing without anything else added on, I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I don't get it. And I'm assuming this is going to retail for the usual Natasha Denona 27-ish euro. Lads, look at me.
Don't waste your money.
Yeah. Even though I'll have affiliate links down below, all that sort of jazz, save your money.
I mean, if you're gonna waste your money, just use the recent links, but
live by that.
Don't. But
no,
please don't.
Seriously don't, because there's a lot better that you can get for less money.
There's so much more better things you could buy with your money than this.
Yeah. If your heart is set on it, wait until Christmas or something like that. Wait for a sale and get it for like half off. That's the only way. Like, if it was $13, I'd be like, oh, okay.
This was like €5.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, maybe for that like pretty chroma crystal shade, I can like pay that.
But it doesn't.
I guarantee you, even then, it would just sit somewhere deep in my collection, be forgotten about, because my mind just like, when it comes to small palettes and these, I never think about them. I'm just like, la la la, big palettes.
I feel very
all the small ones are like, oh, where are they? Oh, I had you. Oh my god.
Do you know what's awful though? Is I convince myself I'll get these like little mini palettes and I'm like, they're great for traveling. And I'm like, Teresa, what do you think you are?
Traveling the world.
I travel like once a year, maybe if I get the funds.
But you need a good options then for the once a year trip.
But can I also just say, when I am going on holiday, I don't bring any makeup with me. I cannot be fucking bothered, because the stress of bringing things with me and being frightened that they're going to break or that security are going to take them from me, I'm like, no. So I don't. So I don't know why there's this like little primitive part of my brain going, they'd be great for when you travel. Where are we traveling, Teresa? Where are we traveling? Seriously.
Literally traveling once a year and then having a full collection of travel makeup.
I don't want to talk about my really poor decisions, lads.
I mean, you're not the only one.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Look, it's, I just don't get this release at all. I
Yeah,
think the
me neither.
tones are very pretty, like the cool tones. I think there was such potential with this, and then they just half-arsed it. Anyways, you guys kind of thought the same thing. 35% of you loved it, and 32% of you guys said that it needed more depth. Then we have LA Girl Cosmetics, and they have their new Shifter Duochrome Powder eyeshadows, and they're available now in Ulta for $8.99 each. And they're in the shades Topaz, Sunset, Jade, and Aura. What I'll say is these are all very traditional duochrome, multichrome shades. Like if you have duochrome, multichromes, you already have these shades.
Yeah. And don't you think they're quite expensive or
Or LA Girl.
like drugstore
Yes.
duochrome, like basic duochromes? Like you could get like wait when there's a sale on or like a code on Pastel Roses.
Yeah.
You could get their like insane multichrome shadows for the same price, basically, on a sale. I feel like these are so basic. I'm so like over these. Like every single brand that has multichromes probably has these shades.
Oh,
They're
literally.
just not exciting anymore. And every single palette that first come out with multichromes had these shades in it. So
Yes.
if you have any palettes that have some multichrome shades in them, you probably have all of these already.
100%. Because they're not unique shades. They are probably the easiest shades of multichromes and duochromes to actually do. That's why you see them so often. Like, yeah, it's $8.99, and on the surface of it, you might kind of go, oh, that's not, that's not too bad.
There's
It does
indie
feel
brands.
expensive for,
There's indie brands that you can get like at a similar price and probably way nicer quality.
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, it feels very late to the game. And look, I get it. What we're going to see now is we're not going to get any new ideas. Like everything's
Yeah.
kind of been done at this point. But what I want to see is like really interesting formulas. Like, is
Yeah.
this going to like stay really well? Is it creamy? Is it this? Is it that? I don't really know with this because they haven't given an awful lot of information. Like even the swatches
Yeah.
that they've given aren't enough to kind of infer any of that from. That's where we're seeing the innovation happening these days, is actually on the formula.
Also, I would say if you're gonna buy, like if you were thinking, oh, I'm gonna buy all of those, that would be like what, $36?
$35.96.
Yeah. So
Yes.
about 36. So with that price, I feel like we talked about gloss coats last week.
Oh,
They had those like multi duochrome palettes, full palettes with way interesting shades than these for like a little bit more than that.
but then
I
with
think they
coats,
were,
you know,
yeah,
you can get it for
yeah,
less. So,
yeah. So
and you'll
you
get more
get it like,
shades. But
yeah,
you get more shades. So
yeah.
it works out. Also, mine arrived the other day.
Already,
Yeah.
I ordered before you, and mine hasn't arrived yet. Why is Finland post office so fucking god awful?
Yes. Well, I'm going to use this as further rationale to get you to move to Ireland. Postal
Postal
system,
service is better.
genuinely, it's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think of this now. Personally, I just feel like duochromes are kind of done to death, and unless you are coming out with a really, really good formula, it's a very difficult market to get into. And speaking of stuff that has been done to death, this is Juvia's place, and they are doing lip oils. In another case of like who asked for this. Now, personally, I am signed up to the P. Louise budget boxes, and I've already seen that they're doing another fucking lip oil along with the purple palette.
I
And
was gonna say they have those. Daniela gave me one of the lip oils. I was looking at the like budget box things, and I feel like every
every single one.
month they have like that lip oil and or that like lip balm that you can put on your keychain, and I'm like, how many different flavors of the same fucking lip oil
But
do people
they
need?
don't taste of anything. They're just scented. That's it.
Yeah,
Fucking, anyways, what
yeah.
I'm saying is the market is saturated with lip oils. Everyone has done them. So now Juvia's place is very late to the game. And this is their
What's
lip
with
oil.
lip gloss? a
Yeah.
couple months back. It's like lip oils coming from everywhere.
Oh, literally. But they have 5 different shades slash flavors. They are actually flavored and they're $10 each. Now, I was super confused because on the site, they like say that there's mango and watermelon, etc. But when you go through each of them and actually click on them, none of them are mango. There's like orange, there's pineapple, there's watermelon and whatever. So I'm very confused. Mango is missing, even though it says it on the site. Also, what annoys me about the site is they have no information, zero, about the ingredients of the products in the lip oils. Now, that is incredibly dangerous for people who have any sort of allergies. Like, if
Yeah.
you're allergic to, we'll say, coconut oil or avocado oil, etc., we don't know if they're using that in there. Literally, there's like zero information on their website. I was like, where is this?
I mean, like, who gets excited about lip oils? I'm just like, I have one couple lip oils and I'm just like, I'm done with these.
Yeah.
Don't even use them that much.
I force myself to
Because I feel like with lip oils, if you put them like as a gloss on top of something, like if you have a lipstick or like a liquid lipstick or anything underneath, I feel like they break down what's underneath. So you basically only way to use them kinda is just on their own.
Yeah.
And then when I don't do makeup, I don't do makeup. So it's like, when am I gonna use this?
Oh, I only use it like on a day-to-day basis of like around the house and just kind of going, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they're not very hydrating. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay, why the fuck? Anyways, I don't get this. I think this is very, very late to the game. I don't find it interesting. I don't care,
Lip
frankly.
oils are just not that interesting, I'm sorry.
No, now, friends, if you are like, if you look at a lip oil and like get that tingly feeling,
Get, like, excited, that's fine.
yeah,
It's
delighted
not
for you. Absolutely delighted that that's where your life is. But for me, if I see, and I'm not being dramatic here, if I see one more fucking lip oil, I might lose my mind. I am sick of them. I just,
Teresa's over them.
I am, no, I'm not even over them. I am fucking miles away from them. I jumped over them and I ran 7 miles away, which for me, considering I am not athletic, says a lot. I I don't want to say I hate these. I'm just so fucking sick of them. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get the hype. I don't understand it. And I want to be done with them. Anyways, I don't know what you guys actually think of this one, so I'll pop the stats up now. Then we have Hourglass, and this is available right now in Germany, it seems, but it isn't available on Hourglass's own website. This is another one where it's been kind of shown on another website. Don't know what's happening. This is their Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. It comes in 18 shades, which, if you know anything about Hourglass's previous history, they are not known for their inclusivity. They kind of forget about people who have deeper skin tones. They're like, oh yeah, you're fine, you don't need any of our products. But I will say it does feel like they've kind of attempted to do that this time around. Now they're pricey because they're Hourglass. It's €54 for 35 milliliters. They have all of these things that you would kind of expect. Hyaluronic acid, let's be real, that's in everything. Plant-based squalene and all these other bits and pieces that they're like, oh, it'll help with moisture levels because that's what we care about at this time of the year. Now, when you're looking at it, it does look like it goes to an okay level of depth. It's not bad actually for a skin tint.
I don't think it's bad for a skin
No,
tint. I feel like the medium shades are a bit lacklusting. Like,
incredibly so. Yes.
yeah, I feel like none of those, well, maybe one, oh yeah, one of those shades would match the on that they swatched, but I feel like there's quite a bit, like some of the like light and medium shades look quite similar.
Totally agree. Like, yeah, we talk about like having a range, but just having a number of like, oh, 18, that doesn't mean that that's the,
It's good.
like, it's not a goal. Like, a number isn't a goal. It's about whether or not you get the diverse ranges. But when you're seeing
Yeah.
that a lot of these shades are almost duping each other, because actually when you go through it and the way that they've grouped them, there's 4 shades that they have categorized as fair. And I don't know about you, but I cannot tell the difference between them. Like, I genuinely can't. Then they have 2 shades that are categorized as light, 2 shades that are categorized as light medium, 2 that are categorized as medium, and then we start to see a little bit more when it gets to medium deep, because they have 5 there. That's the biggest that they actually have in terms of their range. And then we have 3 then with deep. So I do feel like they've got to a decent level of depth, far better than they've done in any other launch before, but it's weirdly distributed.
I mean, I'm not buying from Hourglass, not because I don't support them, but because I can't afford them. That actually rhymed. But yeah, I'm not interested in this. I'm just like, I have a couple of skin tints already. I don't use them that much, actually. I did at some point, but I'm like kind of gone back to the medium coverage place. I do like it like on a days if you just go out and want to do a little bit of makeup. I like them those days. But I feel like if I do like this kind of makeup look or like a lot of makeup, if I don't have the coverage on my skin, it can look like a bit off balance.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that.
This is not for me, just because my budget, and also like I don't need another skin tint.
Yeah.
If I would buy another skin tint, I would probably buy the Danessa Merrick's one. It's way more exciting. And I think you get way more product in that too.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I personally like a skin tint. I don't like full coverage on me. I just feel like it looks weird on me. But that's just my own personal preference. I haven't bought Hourglass in an incredibly long time. But yeah, they're just very pricey, and I just feel that there's better kind of alternatives out there.
Yeah.
But I will give them kudos for actually addressing an issue that they've had for years, which is their lack of inclusivity. So pat on back. I don't know what you guys know about this yet, so I'm going to show the stats right now. I can't see us being that excited about it. Then we have Made by Mitchell and their new Blursh glazes. They say it's their first ever dewy Blursh formula, and it's arrived in 4 shades of pure glossiness with a Made by Mitchell spin. You can use it under or over your glams, from natural to fully baked. Want glazed donut skin? We gotcha. They're available now for €11.99 each. What really annoyed me is I went onto their site for this and I can't find swatches. So
I actually saw a TikTok Mitchell did of swatching these. They do look pretty.
But he needs to do that on the website.
Yeah, like even at the videos, like it doesn't even have to be pictures, because sometimes, especially with like this kind of a product, it's nice to see like it's shifting or something. But I've read that these are more like universal shades, so they don't have a lot of pigment, so every single shade can be like used on like different skin tones, because it's more like that translucent thing. They had like one this, I think it was the shade Sprinkles, that is like a pink shift, and oh my god, that looks stunning.
You see, this is what I want. I want them to link those videos on the website, because if you go onto the website, there's none of that information. None.
Yeah.
And that's very frustrating, because not everyone is on TikTok.
Also, you can't really see the shades in just these packaging, because like even like I said, one of them is like had like a pink shift, and when you look at the packaging,
you
can't really tell like which is which.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is just, it's weird, because we've said it before, like swatches make or break. Now, I do stand by Made by Mitchell's formula. I do find it really, really good. Anything around the Blursh line tends to be really, really good. Like, I mean, I fucking hate the name. That has not changed.
Still hate the name.
I still hate the name, but I guess it's sticking despite, me and Mitchell being besties, and, me telling him constantly, and he's like, "Oh, Teresa, you silly goose." I do feel like this will probably be beautiful. I don't doubt that, but it's frustrating me that when I go onto the site, I can't see that.
You know what I think he should have done? Because these are more like those sheer, like glazed donut, like they say, like what am I trying to say? Like they're more like that, like shiny, like Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter type of. I feel like what I've seen. I feel like they should have made these bigger so you could use it as like a primer.
Oh, that would have been very smart. Yeah.
Because they look really nice. But I mean,
Equally,
they're like more like liquid highlighters than
yeah.
those, but like
He'd
still.
probably have to come up with totally different packaging though, because he couldn't call this a Blursh if it's a different type of a product. So
Yeah. But I
maybe
also
instead of
feel
cost
like he
cutting.
used that Blursh thing
Yeah.
very vaguely
Who knows what it is?
before, so I don't
When like blush makes you think it's blush, and then it's often
know.
not actually blush at all. It has been
It's like
controlled as
blush,
a brand.
bronze, blush, highlighters, blush, blushes. And it's just like, okay, so it's not a blush.
It's
Blush.
lost.
Oh my god, I hate that word so much.
Thank you. Get
Take
on
a
the
drink
page.
every time we say blush and you'll be smashed.
Every time, someone
Blush,
says
blush,
the word
blush.
blush, fairy dies. Tinkerbell dies. Tinkerbell dies every time you say the word blush. It's terrible. Terrible. I hate it. I like the products. That's the thing. Like in my drawers, sounds dirty. I have a lot of Made by Mitchell products. I do. But this, just change the name. Change the name and give me some swatches. That's all I'm saying.
I think I might pick up the shade Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Sprinkles. I'm not that hungry. Sprinkles. Why is it speaking so hard today?
Thing is difficult, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think of it yet, but I will put the pictures up now of your polls. Then we have Electrum Cosmetics. They are an indie brand, and they have some new like holochromes and multichromes. The holochromes are $18 per single. You can get the bundle of 5 of them for $70, which is basically like a $90 value. There's multichromes for $15 each, and you can bundle them together for $65, which would save you about $10. Or you can bundle all 10 of them together for $130, which is super expensive. Now, as you're watching, these are already available. What I will say is they do look actually genuinely quite pretty. Like the shade Hoto, shut up.
That looks so pretty. Also, they all of these like holochromes or what they were called. Yeah, holochromes. They all look so pretty.
Yeah.
Like disgustingly beautiful.
They do.
I see this brand on my I think on my Instagram a lot. And they like swatch stuff and I'm always like, oh, shiny.
Yeah.
Pretty. So I'm definitely like intrigued by them, but they are kind of expensive.
They
Like
are.
I get the price, like I feel like that's kinda indie, more special shade kind of price, but still,
Yeah.
it is kind of like for me. I'm just where my mind goes. If I like buy just one, or like if I buy two, then I'm like, oh, that's already like almost like an eyeshadow palette cost, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, I want an eyeshadow palette. I'm not that big on singles.
Yeah.
Like I have some, but I just never remember to use them. Like never ever. Like once in a new moon. No, because that would be quite a lot. Because that would be every month. What am I trying to say? My mind is so positive. Oh my god. Yeah. So I don't use them that much.
I'm the same. I have like a chunk of like single shadows over there, and like they stare at me and kind of go, Teresa, you bought us. Why don't you use us? And I'm like, how dare you guilt me? And then I run away, as I do.
I just don't remember to use them.
Yeah. The object permanence is very bad. I'm like,
For me, it's like out of my sight, out of my mind.
literally,
With
like
a
I
lot of
have it
things.
right in front of me, or I will forget to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I think they look absolutely stunning. And if they do down the line, do like say a little, and this is Electrum, listen to me. If you get those 5 holochromes, right, and put them into like a 5 palette bundle thingy, right, and put it into like a little thing, I would get that.
So basically, you're saying that they should bundle them and they
Yeah.
already have.
No, but they should bundle them. No, but they should bundle them into a palette.
Into a palette. So
Yeah.
you don't want to buy a palette separately.
No, I want it all done for me already.
We want it all done.
Because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I want a pre-made palette of like Holochrome, like not singles, but like in an actual
like a palette. Just like an actual palette.
With the shade names underneath that I'm like, oh, okay, so you don't have to like pick it up and go, what shade is this? Because that drives me, because I'm always going to dig my nail into it and then I cry. And it's very upsetting for me. So that's what I think they should do. I like that they're bundling them, but go further, put them into a palette.
Yeah.
Have it be, because I think that would do really, really well. Because if you're going to do interesting shades like that, go balls to the wall and do that as your palette. That would be cool. I think that would do well.
I agree.
But yeah, anyways, I don't know what you guys think of that yet, so I'm going to put the stats there. The very last thing that we're actually talking about is Nabla Cosmetics, and it feels like I haven't heard about them in like a hot minute, but this is a new sneak peek, so we don't know exactly what it is that we're getting. This is apparently a liquid metal effect magic chrome eyeshadow, and it is trademarked, so I guess they're doing like maybe liquid shadows or something, but they look nice, like, to be fair.
Yeah, they give me like, when you swatch the Denona Myricks like Lightworks palette, those feel like a cream, but they're like not a cream, but they're like super. My mouth is in mouthing today, but they're like good luck editing this, Teresa. They're like super reflective. I got it there in the end.
Well done. I'm not leaving any of that out. That's all going in. It's gold.
Oh,
it's funny because when I saw these like swatched, that's literally the first thing I thought of was the Denona Myricks. And I was like, oh, somebody's talking about Denona Myricks. Now, if this is cheaper than Denona Myricks,
because Nabla isn't that expensive.
No, so I'm intrigued. I'd like to see if we could dupe out something like Denona. That being said, Denona has my heart, Denona has my soul. I'm never really going to drop Denona. I'm sorry, that's the relationship that we have. But I would like to see, are they similar in terms of how they perform? For science.
Yeah, and is this going to be an eyeshadow palette? Because as we established today, we don't like single shadows.
Yeah, so Nabla, please get on that. Make sure it's an actual palette. Yeah, again, don't know what you guys think. I think we're all going to be reserving judgment and see, but they do look very shiny. My friends, that's it. That's the end of this week's episode, but I do have my favorite comment, and this is from Rhea, and she said, first day that Passy and Leo are at cottage and I can watch R&R in total peace and no interruptions. What more do you need? I agree, Rhea. Get rid of the children. Permanent.
Yeah. Just get rid of the husband, get rid of the child.
Yeah.
And then you can be peace and watch R&R every day.
See? There you go.
Don't repeat.
Just don't repeat, because I am not making an R&R for every single day.
That's why I said that. Just watch the one episode a week and just like repeat all day.
Yeah, that's all we ask. I hope you enjoyed your time to yourself without any of that disgusting interruptions. I know I only have like a husband, but my God, every 5 minutes, it's babe. Where's this thing that's right in front of me?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel your pain, and it is nice to watch things without interruption. I can't remember the last time I watched something through solidly without having to pause it. It's very upsetting. I do have a little mini announcement though. There will be no releases in Rants next week. I know, repress your tears. The reason is I have a lovely friend coming over and she's arriving on the Wednesday, which is normally when we film, and I thought, I know I have bad social skills, but even I know it's fucking rude to wander off and be like, hello guest that is in my house, goodbye. It's rude to do that and then be like, oh, I'm going to spend a whole day editing, because it does take me a whole day to edit releases. So I figured it's rare that I have people over.
It's a holiday for Teresa.
It is a holiday.
We're not wording today. I'm sorry.
It's all right. So that is why there will be no releases in Rants, but don't worry, it's going back to the usual thing from then on. It is literally just a blip, but I will be doing little mini videos. They will still continue. You will be updated, don't worry. But other than that, my friends, that is it. Do please like, comment, and subscribe to myself and to Tia. Do turn on that notification bell so you can see when we're coming out with more videos, and do please share, because sharing is caring, except of course for STDs, in which case, you know, just wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.